Okay, so you'll notice how this part was designed. I have a two-feature model where I created a very quick sketch like so and extruded it, and the second feature extrude to like so. A pattern of 4 holes. I didn't use it as a pattern, but that's okay because DimExpert helps us apply the tolerances in the 3D model without any regard to how the model was built. Even if it was an imported model, the DimExpert will work. So let's get into DimExpert slightly here. DimExpert will automatically and intelligently dimension your 3D models. It will show you if you're missing any dimensions with visual cues. It will also be readily available for use in a 2D drawing if you want to create 2D drawings. And it's integrated with TolAnalyst as well, the tolerance stack-up application. And then, by the way, it was introduced some time ago in 2008. And it solves an interesting issue. If you actually put all of your model information or dimensional information here in the model, you're going to be able to reutilize this information in drawings and in your tolerance stack-ups. Plus, you can actually select items that are much better for manufacturing features, which I'll get into in a moment. So if you take a look at this part, I could have actually made this as one feature in SolidWorks with a big sketch with 4 holes, the hole in the middle, and a notch. But how would you dimension that? Well, DimExpert will interrogate the model. So here's the 4th tab that you see right here. At the top it looks like a true position symbol. And you'll see that I have an auto dimension scheme, a true position symbol with a lightning bolt. And it will ask you what type of part this is. So this is a prismatic part. We can apply geometric tolerancing to it, and it will ask us for datums to virtually put this on a plate. So I can pick this surface as one surface on a granite plate. And then I can pick a secondary datum, which could be a feature of size. This hole that you see right here could act as the secondary datum. You would need some kind of fixture to position it, but in a part like this it might be required because you don't have any other flat surfaces on the ZY plane or the ZX plane. And simply by doing that, it's created a tolerance scheme based on those datums and based on what it considers to be manufacturing features. Okay. I can look at that from the top view as well. If there are any dimensions, let's look at the other view. There's the surface flatness tolerance on datum A. Okay, so how did SOLIDWORKS go about doing this? You can see that it's assigned a list of features here on the left-hand side. It created a planar feature. It found a simple hole down the middle of the part, in which that's assigned datum B, a diameter dimension, and a perpendicularity tolerance. It found a hole pattern. Even though I didn't have a hole pattern defined in SOLIDWORKS, it determined that this was indeed a pattern. See, it's showing 4x, 7.5 millimeters here. It found the plane, the dimension between for the thickness. It found a cylindrical feature. And it found something called a notch. This notch right here, you see it highlights it over on the side. So it's doing a manufacturing feature recognition of the model. This would work if you had an imported model, like I said before. Okay. So I can tell if it's not fully dimensioned by showing the tolerance status. So if all of my features are green, then everything's good. If there are some yellow features, that means I haven't fully dimensioned the model. For example, if I wanted to make it stop spinning, I would define perhaps this as datum plane C. And you can define things manually. Here's the dim expert. Here is the datum plane creation tool. And I can assign, well, I mispicked there. Let me undo that. Control Z. See, here's the dim expert toolbar. Datum symbol right here. And I can call out datum C right here and assign that to a surface just like that. You see how it automatically went to the symbol based on the standard that I'm doing. If I pick the symbol, you can see the actual surface that it's representing, but it cleaned it up for me so I don't have extraneous geometry. So that's datum plane C now. So you can do this manually as well. This information can then be used in a detailed drawing. So if I go ahead and make a drawing, I will throw it just in my projects directory here under dim expert. And then I will just throw a couple of views on. I just have Enterprise PDM assigning a few numbers here for me. And you'll notice there's a couple of interesting options here. Import annotations. And rather than bring in the sketch dimensions, I'm going to bring in the dim expert annotations instead. And any view with an A has dimensions and tolerances in it. So there's our drawing. And it does a fairly good job at spacing everything out. Of course, I want to make sure I'm in the same unit system, millimeters, for the for everything else right here. Not bad. Even gave it basic dimensions here, dimensioning to those features that have a true position tolerance. And you can position anything else you want as you see fit. Now these are read-only dimensions on the model, so if I try double-clicking it, it's not going to let me actually change the value of the dimension. Back in the model, you would still make your changes in the normal way using your sketch-based dimensioning, because the sketch-based dimensions are perhaps the easiest way of building the model, but it might not necessarily be the best way to manufacture and tolerance the model. So here in my feature tree, here's extrude 2 where I have my holes. There's the sketch for it. In fact, I didn't actually put a size in on the holes. I got 12 and 12 here. But I'll go ahead and put a dimension in just to size these to 10 millimeters instead, which they should all go. It's a sketch pattern, it looks like. But you can see this is certainly updated here. 4 times 10 millimeters plus or minus a quarter millimeter plus the half mil tolerance. Now you can change those tolerances. By default, there's a scheme that it's going to use in your options, your document properties. But you can double-click these frames and make changes to them. So I'd be able to open it up, if I wanted to, just like that. You could do, more than one at a time, I'm presuming here as well. So if I select these 2 dimensions, I can change this to 35. Oh, looks like I only got one. So very easy to make those modifications. So let me show you some other parts that it would work on. So let me just go ahead and save this model. Check it in, just to make sure I get the drawing that goes along with it. And I'll close these out. Oh, I already saved it.